this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is a pick a card reading for where are you at in your spiritual awakening process, the energies that are surrounding you, what could be coming in. So I just want to say before we get started, the spiritual awakening is really personal to each person. Spiritual awakening doesn't necessarily mean that you're becoming a very spiritual person. It might not even feel very spiritual at all. For some people, you could see it almost like a midlife crisis or a quarter life crisis. It's basically just where you kind of wake up at some point in your life and you realize that you want to make changes. For some people, it's all about realizing the truth of who you are and wanting to walk in alignment with what feels right to you. I think the one thing that everyone has in common when they're going through this type of change or they're going through a spiritual awakening is just the desire to expand, the desire to change, the desire to become a more true and authentic version of themselves. So for some people, it's like walking away from people, places, things, habits that no longer serve you and making choices that feel more in alignment with yourself. For some people, it is studying esoteric knowledge or realizing that they have spiritual gifts and implementing those into their life. For some people, a spiritual awakening could have a lot to do with, a certain relationship or some type of career change or lifestyle change. So it's very different for each person, but we're going to go ahead and see here what this means for you. So if you feel like you're going through a spiritual awakening or some type of big change in your life right now, this reading is going to be for you. Keep in mind, this is a general reading. It may not resonate with everyone. There could be parts of it that resonate with you and parts of it that don't. So always trust your own inner guidance and your own intuition above all else before you do any type of reading online. So if you're ready to participate in this reading, all you have to do is choose a crystal or a stack of cards that resonates the most with you, and then we can get started. So first we have number 1, the amethyst crystal. Number 2, the raw quartz crystal. Number 3, the rose quartz crystal. Or number 4, the yellow citrine crystal. Once you have chosen, you can head to the description or the comments below where the timestamps will be posted. If you want to choose number 1, we're going to get started right away. So for those of you who choose number 1, let's see what's going on here in your cards. Where are you at right now in your spiritual awakening process? So I'm getting this message that you are at the tail end of your dark night of the soul. Dark night of the soul in the spiritual awakening process is very similar to what the caterpillar goes through when it goes into the cocoon. Like, you realize that there's these changes you're being called towards and you kind of pulled back a little bit from life. You almost went into this hermit mode, spent more time to yourself, spent more time thinking about what needs to happen. Maybe you were going through some type of healing process, whether it was physical healing for your body or even emotional or mental healing process. Maybe you went through some type of breakup or trauma or a loss or a grieving process, and so you kind of had to pull back a little bit, kind of take a break from life and just kind of do you. It wasn't really a big time of social interaction or changes or taking risks. It was more just about being present and kind of flushing out old energies. So you're at the tail end of that. It's like the rainbow that comes after the storm. And now what you're being called towards is actually coming out of your cave, coming out of your shell, coming out of hibernation, bursting out of your cocoon and getting your wings and flying. It's actually a really exciting time. There's a beautiful message that's around you of balance. You've come to balance. That's something that you were really seeking, is trying to find balance in your life. There's just this calm and this peaceful sensation around you. Doesn't mean you don't have any worries or fears, but You definitely have more balance, you have more inner strength, you have more confidence, and I'm hearing this phrase, know thyself. Like, you know who you are now. You have a better sense of what's important to you, and I feel like you're caring less about what people think. You're caring less about the decisions that you want to make, how that's gonna what other people are gonna think about it. You're just like, you know what, I'm at this place in my life where I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna do what's best for me, and I'm gonna move forward with confidence. So it's a really empowering time. So this message to you is, it says believe in yourself. There are wonderful people out there that want to help you maintaining a balance between work and home life. I feel like you kind of had a breakdown from stress or something, and life just got too much, and you're realizing that your creative interests, relationships, friendships, having fun, traveling, like trying new things, going new places, you're realizing all of that does have a place in your life. So as you move forward, you're being called to balance. You're being called to do things that are fun for you, to engage in hobbies and activities that really bring you that joy, so that you can continue to raise your vibration and come to a higher frequency that will help you manifest the things you need to manifest as you move forward here. I feel like you're getting ready to take some type of risk. This is the rabbit here that's talking about facing your fears. You might actually be changing career paths. You might realize, okay, I chose this path because this is what felt safe, or this is what felt like it would, make me financially secure, but turns out I was just listening to my parents, or I was just listening to society, and I just didn't know what I wanted back then. Now I know what I want. So I'm gonna have to make some changes and maybe start over, or start at the bottom, or take some risks here. You're getting ready to take those risks. And the message here is like, you can trust yourself. You can take this risk. You can make this change because you've come to balance. You're on the other side of your dark night of the soul. Everything's gonna be bright and happy for you. You've made it through. You made it through that time to come out of hiding, time to come out of hibernation. No more hiding here is your message. So I hope that this resonates with you. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Peace out. So for those of you guys who choose number 2, let's go ahead and get your message here. Where are you at in your spiritual awakening process, and any messages that want to come to you at this time? Okay, so I feel like you've been on the other side of your spiritual awakening for a while now. Like, you've gone through your dark night of the soul, you've come out of it, things have been a lot better for you. In the past, you've already conquered a lot. I see some of you guys have gotten away from toxic situations, from toxic connections. You've made better choices. Like, you've already started your path. You're on your path already. I think there's a fear surrounding you, though, that the other shoe's gonna drop, or the past is gonna repeat itself, or that like you're a fraud or an imposter or something. I don't know why, but that phrase imposter syndrome is coming up. Have you ever heard of that? It's basically where you sometimes feel like, oh, you're a imposter, or you're not doing a good job. Or there's even people who are like famous musicians and famous writers who still fear, like, am I really going to be able to compose that next piece of music, even though they have accolades and awards? Am I really going to be able to write that next book, even though they have tons of bestsellers? Like, it's like you're starting down this path, and you have the education or the rewards or the accolades, or you have confirmation, you've grown abundance, but there's a fear that it's going to be taken away, that the rug is going to be pulled out from underneath you. And there's this beautiful message to trust that things are better now. Like, you've done the work, you've done the spiritual work, you've done the mental, the emotional work. Like, you can enjoy your life. Like, things might not be perfect, but you have a right to enjoy your life. You have a right to just be here and in the present, and to know that the present is enough. And so this is the swan talking about how you're leaving difficult times behind. You're never going to go back. The stream here is pushing you this way. You'd have to fight against the current to go back to where you were. That wouldn't be natural at all. You're flowing in alignment with your path. And I think the message here is that there are so many opportunities for you coming in, especially around the new year. So many opportunities. This is a message that says, Reward yourself for all your hard work. So I think this is where you're at in the spiritual awakening process. Maybe it's time to kind of sit down and journal about where you used to be and where you are now, and write a list of like all the choices that you made and like how good you did, and like really give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a big hug and tell yourself, I made it, we made it here, like I'm here now, like I worked for this, like I made this happen, I made good choices. I can trust myself that in the future I'll continue to make good choices. I can trust myself that in the future I'll continue to do what's best for me. I can trust myself right now, so I can trust myself in the future. I got myself to where I am, and I'll continue to get myself to where I need to be. And so this is such a great message. This says being happily and successfully self-employed. So some of you guys are there at that point where you're self-employed now, or you've worked your way up in your career, or you're doing something very creative, because you see this person here that's like playing this harp, and there's this bounty, there's this abundance around her. She's got her wings. You're the caterpillar that's turned into the butterfly. And this is just a message of celebration. Like this, it really isn't too good to be true, and it's even gonna get so much better for you. So this is a message telling you to enjoy your life, to enjoy the fruits of your labor, to celebrate, to reward yourself for your hard work, to indulge a little bit in life, and even to cherish a little bit of your alone time. Maybe some of you guys are, I feel like some of you guys aren't at that point yet where you've connected with your soul family. Through this awakening process, it's changed you so much that you've kind of had to leave a lot of people behind, or maybe you moved somewhere or something, or your schedule's different, and so you might be feeling a little bit alone. But remember, you've created a lot of space. Just hold that space and know that there's a lot of different people, new soul family, and a time of fun and opportunity coming into your life. So this is kind of like a job well done message for you. I hope that this resonates with you. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Peace out. Okay, so for those of you guys who choose number 3, let's go ahead and get your message about where you're at in your spiritual awakening process. Oh my goodness, we're seeing the wheel here. I feel like you're still kind of going through your dark night of the soul a little bit, but you're kind of used to it. Like, I feel like you're a couple months into your dark night of the soul. The worst is kind of over, and you're at this point where you have a really good foundation in your life now. So your spiritual awakening, I feel like it really started about 18 months ago, if that makes sense. Might not be the case for everyone here, but I'm just getting that time frame of like the first couple months were great, and then like the next probably 10 months after that were like really difficult, and you're kind of out of that now, and you're really being called to make decisions right now based off what you want. You've set up a really good foundation for yourself in your life. You're feeling a sense of like safety. You're trusting yourself more. You're trusting the universe more. You've got some roots down. And this message here says that delays are over. Like a lot of good luck is coming into your life. A lot of good energy is coming into your life. This is a card that's talking about making a vision board or making a list of your desires. There's a really bright, vibrant energy. The energy is really picking up around you, and it could just be scattered everywhere. You know, you got to make use of this energy. It could maybe cause a little bit of anxiety if you're not pointing this energy in a specific direction. I love this arrow symbol. It's like you're shooting this arrow, you're directing your energy somewhere, and you're releasing it. And so this is telling you right now you're at a place where you're deciding what you want to focus on. I see like a 3-year cycle, a message about thinking about the next 3 years. Where do you see yourself? And coming up with strategies and actually like logical strategies about what you want to have happen. It's no longer about just dreaming and believing and hoping it will come. That's a great part of the manifestation process, but you have to do your part too. So this is the grounding energy, the foundation. It's like build your foundation right now. Continue to build your foundation so that you can implement these goals and these strategies. There's something here about travel as well. You might be called to travel to different places to get different experiences, to gain more independence, or there's some type of big move you're gonna make, and so that's probably where you're at right now. Really great energy. You're getting ready to kind of tackle your life head on. So I hope that this message resonates with you. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, and I'll see you next time. All right, so for those of you guys who choose number 4, let's go ahead and get your message about where you are at in your spiritual awakening process. So the message that I'm getting is ego death. Okay, this is the death card. Don't be afraid of it. It's actually a beautiful message of transformation. But basically it's this ego death. You kind of have woken up. You're at the beginning of the process, okay? You've kind of woken up and you've realized, whoa, like, this life that I'm living and what I'm doing and my way that I'm thinking and like the people around me or like where I'm at, this doesn't feel authentic anymore. Like there's something has shifted, and maybe even almost overnight. And so you're starting to realize like there's some changes that need to happen. The things that you used to be drawn to, you might not be drawn to anymore. The things that you used to talk about and be involved in, it might not really feel real or like legit to you anymore. Like the goals or the interests or the path you've been on with career or finances might not feel like it's serving you anymore. You might feel this need to just kind of release your energy and get out and get away. You might feel almost trapped, like you're a big fish in a small pond. And so it's like you know something has to give, you know something needs to change. It's almost an uncomfortable feeling, but it's also a really exciting time because your mind is being open to possibilities. You're starting to realize the power that you do have to make choices that will affect your life. It's almost like you're getting out of victim mentality or kind of feeling like I'm stuck here, there's nothing I can do, and you're realizing, you know what, I don't want to accept that old paradigm anymore. I want to go out and make choices, and I want to make changes, and I know I can do it. So there's this power behind you, there's this confidence behind you, there's this leadership energy behind you that's very exciting. And so yes, this is kind of an ego death, and you know, when I say ego death, it doesn't mean that, oh, you're becoming enlightened and you're going to be perfectly spiritual and positive all the time. I think we're humans, we have egos, it is what it is. You're just becoming more aware of the ego, and you're realizing, I want the side of me that's more hopeful. I want the side of me that's more idealistic. I want the side of me that sees the glass half full. I want the side of me that dreams. I want the side of me that believes. I want that side of me to be more in charge of my life versus the side of me that's telling me I can't do it, or you're stuck, or you suck, or whatever. But you're wanting to believe the other side. You want to try living life a different way, more in alignment with that side of yourself. And so it's a very exciting time. You're learning new things, you're opening up to new ideas. Maybe that's why you found yourself here on a tarot channel. This journey could honestly take you anywhere. Follow yourself, follow your heart. I think this journey is more about you right now. And you might be realizing as you're waking up, like the people around you, you might be feeling like, wow, this is so low vibe, this is so toxic. How did I ever end up in this situation? But realize everyone's on their own path too. You know, you might be realizing the harsh realities of the world right now. You might be waking up to like poverty and homelessness and, you know, people that have addictions, and you might be seeing what they're doing in the rainforest, and you might just be like, wow, you might be so just drawn to understanding the duality of life right now. And so you might find yourself becoming very passionate about certain causes or being very sensitive to what's happening on the news and on the radio. This is just all part of the process. Like, you're just waking up to the fact that you play an important role here in this life. And so, you know, what's important for you right now is to just figure out what role you're going to play in this life, and realizing that whatever script was handed to you at birth and was handed to you by society, you get to rip it up and throw it away and write yourself a new script, and it can be whatever you want. You know, your purpose is what you define it to be, and you're gonna help this world by doing what's authentic to you. When you follow your true authentic path and you just live, you know, in love and in light, and you're real with yourself, that paves the way for other people to do the same. It's like a butterfly effect that kind of ripples out to all of humanity. And so don't discount the difference you can make, the part that you can play. And I think that this is a very exciting time for you. Good luck on this journey, all right? I hope that this resonates with you. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. You guys, do you want to hear more about spiritual awakening? I don't know why, but I don't think I've ever really done like a whole video about it. I'm thinking about doing a video about it. I just did a video called like how to attract a soulmate, how to manifest a soulmate. I just sat down and did a little talk. If you want to hear me do a talk on spiritual awakening, then definitely give this video a thumbs up, okay? And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.